You know, today we're going to talk about a sound, and not just any sound. We're talking about a melody so powerful it's become a legend, a sound that artists have tried to capture for thousands of years. We're on a quest to understand what might just be an impossible melody.
I mean, just pause and think about that for a second. A sound, a simple melody so profound that it could literally reverse the course of a mighty river. A sound that could turn wild predator animals into motionless statues. This isn't just music we're talking about. According to the legend, it's a force of nature.
And this legend, it's been trending for 5 millennia. That's 5,000 years. Before anything could ever go viral on the internet, this was the original viral melody, passed down through generation after generation, and it's still captivating us today.
So let's give it its proper name, the Murali. This is the flute of Sri Krishna. And look, in the vast tapestry of Indian mythology, this isn't just some accessory or a prop in a story. It's absolutely central. It represents the very soul, the heartbeat of a culture.
But that brings us right to the core mystery, doesn't it? I mean, we live in an age of synthesizers, of incredibly complex audio production. So why? Why does this simple, hollow piece of wood still have this power to cut through all of that noise and connect with us on such a deep, primal, emotional level? Well, that's the puzzle we're going to try to solve. All right, so to find the answer, we have to look beyond the physical instrument for a minute. We have to crack its spiritual code. And it turns out it's all about the metaphor.
And here it is. This is the core teaching. For the flute to make any music at all, it has to be completely hollow. It has to be empty. The spiritual parallel here is just so powerful. For the divine to work through us, we also have to empty ourselves of ego, of pride. You see, a flute that's blocked up or filled with something remains silent, inert. So it becomes this perfect symbol of surrender.
This whole idea connects to this fascinating concept called anahata. It's described as the unstruck sound. Think of it as a cosmic vibration that's always present, like the underlying hum of the entire universe. So, in this view, Krishna's flute doesn't just create music, it tunes into and channels this pre-existing divine frequency.
And that one single idea, the empty vessel, it became like a conductor for an entire aesthetic. This metaphor echoes through so much of Indian art. You can actually see it in the flowing grace of Kangra paintings. You can feel it in the expressive, intricate movements of Kathak dance. And you can absolutely hear it in the very soul of Hindustani classical music.
So, now let's see how this metaphor gets built into a legendary story from this ancient text, the Bhagavata Purana. This is really where the symbol becomes a miracle. I want you to picture the scene. It's just a typical day in the forest. It's wild, it's chaotic. There's the noise of survival, the law of the jungle, right? It's a world totally defined by predator and prey, by friend and foe. And then, everything changes. A single note from the Murali cuts through all of that chaos. It's a moment of complete disruption, a sound that just doesn't belong in that world of struggle and survival.
The legends say the transformation was immediate and total. Natural enemies just forgot their instincts. The lion lay down with the deer. The entire forest, from the smallest insect to the most powerful predator, it just stopped and listened, completely mesmerized by this one unifying sound.
So here's the crucial point. The music wasn't just calming, it was completely transformative. It introduced a shared frequency that was so powerful, it dissolved the very concept of the other. For that one moment, there were no enemies. There were only listeners, all united by a single shared vibration. But this isn't just some ancient story. The flute's message is a living legacy, and it actually has pretty profound implications for us today. So why does all of this still matter? Well, I think the first major takeaway is about subtlety. We live in a world that often values the loudest voice, the biggest statement. But the flute reminds us that true connection, true spirituality, it's often found not in those grand, noisy declarations, but in the quiet, subtle, and haunting notes that ask us to just lean in and listen closely. And ultimately, this brings this beautiful metaphor right back to us. The flute is a symbol of our own potential. It suggests that every single one of us is an instrument, full of the potential for beautiful music, just waiting for the right inspiration, the right breath to help us find our song. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Have you ever had that experience? A moment when a simple melody from a flute just cut through everything else, all the noise, and just stopped you in your tracks? That feeling? Well, it might just be a faint echo of that ancient, impossible melody.